Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the O Tours, episode 2. We have made it to a second episode. For those of you asking when it will be available on other streaming platforms, I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm very new to podcasting, and I don't know a lot about RSS feeds. But that will happen eventually, and I will let everyone know. If you guys ever have any questions that you guys want us to tackle on the podcast, make sure you leave them in the comments below. We will, put them into our next week's episode. It'll work out easy, or you can shoot us something on Twitter. We both have us, it's right on screen. Check out KRC Pinto at dickinson. You guys can send us stuff there. But we are back. We got some news this week. Pinto, by the way, how are you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good. I've been playing some Strive. Enjoying myself. I just got back from a week-long vacation in Colorado. I'm refreshed. I'm ready to rock.
How was your vacation?
Dude, it was great. It was we were at Leadville, which is the highest city in North America, allegedly. And it was chilly, which is nice because I live in Florida, so I haven't felt the cool thing of like sub 90-degree air in months. So it was great. Happy to be back.
That's good, man. That's good. We got a lot of news, stuff we can talk about, stuff that have happened between last episode and now. But, since we're talking about Strive, we got our boy goldlewis Dickinson officially announced. I'm pretty excited for him, although I definitely can't play him on my controller.
Do you play Hitbox?
I do play Hitbox.
Oh,
I have my arcade stick right in my closet right here. I was thinking, what if I whipped out the stick for a day or two just to play him?
Ad players like me, we're rejoicing right now. It's our time.
So for those who don't know, goldlewis has a special move, which is a half circle starting from any direction, and has different properties when you do it from different angles. And for those who don't know, a Hitbox controller, it is not very good to do inputs like that. Like starting from the top and going downwards, half circle, or the other way is very hard. You have to hit the buttons in a very weird combination.
dickinson, are you ready for some Guilty Gear Strive ASMR?
Yeah.
In this Behemoth Typhoon.
In this episode of the O Tours, we're in a Behemoth Typhoon. But he looks very interesting. People are like, oh, he's gonna be, another like Potemkin because he's big and whatever. But honestly, I don't see it. I think he's gonna be oppressive as shit, and I'm super scared.
Some things I liked that I saw. First of all, Z-Broly 2H. How that man gets his hands down and body straight up and down. Goldlewis is an athlete. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
Then I'm really intrigued coming from Plus R into this game. The way his meter works reminds me of kind of the way Order Soul works, and also the way Robo-Kai works, where the higher the meter is, the better his specials get. I guess Nagoriyuki kind of has something like that with the range extension based on his blood, but it's not quite the same because he also has a penalty. Goldlewis, you build it up, you use it, and it resets, and you have to wait again. Also, I love that it's his defense security, whatever. What was it called? Security defense meter or something like that?
I don't know.
They just really want him to be the Secretary of Defense. But he looks sick, dude. He's got set play, he's got mix-up, but he's not a grappler. He's breaking the mold for big boys.
I definitely feel like that laser super, there will be some real fucked up shit with that. I said that when I saw the reaction. I was like, that move is gonna be something, and I can't wait to see some guy on Twitter hit you with the stupidest mix-up possible.
It's like this,
or a fuzzy or something.
It seems like the superior Zato's sword, where your goal of doing the sword is you do a combo with Eddie, you run out of Eddie meter, you hit them far away, and you finish with the sword super, and it sets up Eddie for the next round. Yeah. Except if you do something wrong, they can jab Eddie. I dare them to jab my orbital laser. I dare them. We'll see what happens.
My man,
although knowing this game, it might have a hurt box. So
yeah, really. My man hitting up the Gears of War lore. He's got the Hammer of Dawn locked in via the eye. He looks tough, I'm not gonna lie. And I really love how they just really played into the coffin and the alien. It looks really cool. Honestly, I'm gonna say this, and I'll probably get hate for it, but I really don't want Happy Chaos, and I'm gonna keep it $150. I was like, goldlewis looks way tougher. Happy Chaos just got a gun. No, with the Happy Chaos gun life.
think more characters the better, but I definitely want a goldlewis first. I think like goldlewis
Yeah.
would be the one where like we're kind of gonna get the taste of how they're gonna design the DLCs because he is like the background character who I think had the least like not
Visual, I
background, but you know what I
guess.
mean. He had the least like wild thing going on inherently,
Right.
versus like Jacko and Jam, we kind of know what to expect. Happy Chaos and Asuka, like those are new characters, but they're also like off the wall and villains, and like anime style games, they always like to make the villains like over the top, kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
Gold Lewis was gonna be like he had the potential to be like your basic character, and I feel like they didn't do that at all. Like
Yeah.
he is sick.
I'm glad they like I don't know. I really am glad that they didn't make him very like generic. Like he doesn't have like a ton of stuff, but like what he has just like very much makes him stick out. So that's pretty cool. Like he's got a fucking minigun. He's like TF2 heavy, like coming at you.
Someone already modded him. I saw it on Twitter today.
That's great. That is a great thing. Yo, shout out to the modders. The mods for this game are insane.
Dude, Ash Ketchum Zato with a yellow Eddie.
That's great. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But there are so many like good mods, and I love about the mods in this game is that you can use them online, unlike Dragon Ball, where like you'd have to like only be able to play in ring matches and stuff. But like you can like literally roll up in tower, and you can be playing as Pepsi Man and Soul. Like
awesome.
There are so many good ones, or like any of the Potemkin mods are so fucked up.
I love the one that makes the dolphin.
Yeah, the Pogsugeki one, where he's literally the dolphin, or there's one where he's Alphonse Elric from Full Metal Alchemist. There's
awesome too.
There's so many like weird ones, or like I love shout out to Bearwit. I was watching his stream. He hit a heavenly potbuster, and it played the intro to Gangster's Paradise. So it's like, oh, as he's like rising through the air, and I'm like, this is way too much for me.
They're going hard on this one. They're having a field day.
Yeah,
and it's paying off for all of us.
Yeah, it's great. Like I definitely have a bunch of mods installed for me. I have like Attack on Titan mod for Leo, and then I have like a bunch of Demon Slayer mods for Kai. I got like a Dante one for Soul. They're awesome. They're really, really cool. I really like that the mods are just so sick in this game, and like super easy to do. Like the mods, like it literally takes like 2 seconds to install them. So that's another reason you should join the PC part, man.
Yeah. I know your tournament is going all PC now. So like, do you think that this is the way it's turning? Do you think that's going to be what the meta is for the online tournaments?
For now, I think it will be, unless it happens to be like Dragon Ball, where like there was a solid time period for Dragon Ball where the port on PC was better than PS4, and then somehow through updates, the port just got worse and worse and worse over time, and it was really weird. Like, I was not having a good time after a while. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't know what it was, to be completely honest, but like over time it got laggier. It would lag in offline mode and stuff like that. So like if that starts to happen, we may switch back to PS4 at some point, and that might become the standard. But as of right now, everyone's like PC, less input delay. Technically better connections, because like who doesn't have an Ethernet cable into their PC? And it just seems easier for a lot of people. So it seems to be that way. A lot of tournaments are PC. I'm pretty sure ICFC is PC. I think Can Opener Series is definitely PC. What other big tournaments are going on? There's like a lot of PC tournaments. I know TNS has been doing both like I was, but I think they're doing just PC coming up soon.
I think it's going to be interesting to see like how the narrative develops as we get closer to like big offline events happening again, because obviously those will stay PlayStation for convenience, because it's hard to get a bunch of PCs that all run properly into a place like that.
It's the problem is like all the custom sticks. That's really where it comes down to. And like we've done it locally. We've tried before with PC setups, and it's just like you plug your stick in, and like it'll maybe your driver will install correctly, but it will crash every other driver for different sticks. And it's such an issue. And then some of the sticks, when they plug them in, the drivers aren't installed correctly. They have extra lag, and it's just too many variables. PlayStation just makes it too easy.
Yeah. And like we were saying, like the PC for the online tournaments makes a lot more sense in a lot of cases, especially like, all these sick mods that are coming out. People want to use that. Like, I want to play Ash Ketchum Zato in tournament. I want to go
Right.
out and represent. But like, when offline rolls around, are you gonna feel weird switching back to PlayStation because the input delays are different?
So the one nice thing about this game is that in your button settings, you can add frame delay to your inputs manually. So honestly, if you want to get like a closer experience to offline by playing online PC, is put your input delay on in your button settings to like 2 or 3 frames, depending on what controller you use. And like after that, it won't be exactly the same, but it'll be close enough that you'll just have to make small adjustments. But as of right now, like playing on the PC version and then going to PS4, it feels like super slow on PS4. Like crazy different, honestly, in my opinion at least.
I haven't even played the PC one yet, so I can't chime in on that. But I definitely think it's going to be a snag in the next like couple weeks, just because of the way things are shaping up tournament wise. It seems
Yeah,
like if you want to play online, that's what you got to do.
yeah. I also just prefer because like starting at my PlayStation, then my room becomes 800 million degrees because it's literally like a 747 like engine, and it becomes
Yep.
super hot. I just have my PC on, it's liquid cooled, so I'm chilling at a normal temperature.
Yep.
But
100%.
yeah, I've been man, I'm just really excited to see where the game's going. I feel like right now the game is hitting like it's already its next like step in meta, where it comes from like I've been seeing so many more players using like the fast RC, and I've been
Yeah.
learning that recently, and man, that stuff is good. It is very good. It makes some reactable things not very reactable. And like
That's he's crazy. Because like I feel like it almost like if you're looking for an RC in a string, it triggers you to try to react to the RC, and then it doesn't like happen the way you expect it to. Like it's just like such a
right.
mental stack.
Yeah, we saw it a lot last night with the tournament. I forgot who it was. One of the Geo players was literally doing like close slash far slash fast RC drift forward dust, and the dust comes out so fast.
Dude, was it Romantic Styles?
Yeah, that's who it was. It was like
Okay, so that's who knocked me into losers, and he hit me with that, and I swear, like out loud, I said, "What the hell is that?" Like, because the
yeah,
dust trigger, it didn't look like it
it doesn't
charged
look
at all.
charged, right? Yeah, and
It,
it just rocks you in the face, and now you're taking 60 for it.
I'm gonna have to learn that. Let's see if I can do that with Zato, because that caught me so bad, and like ate a full dust combo off of it. Didn't have burst, like super troublesome.
Yeah,
Like that was actually sick.
and we have seen so far with this game that dust combos are crazy. I know we've seen like the BRC like soul TODs off of dust, but have you seen the Axel TODs off of dust? Because Axel,
Oh,
if if
I've
you
seen a
use the
time
time,
stop.
if you time
Yeah.
stop before you dust, and then when you go up, you hit the last execution of it. You just literally just like it's like Axel bomba over and over again, and you take a lot of damage. I saw Chris G hit it on stream once. That stuff, that's like 90% on every character in the cast. So like, man, I'm excited to see where this like fast RC dust meta goes.
Every time I get charge dusted by a May player, I just put my controller down.
Yeah, I mean it hits so far too. It's such a it's so much pain.
Yeah, yeah, dust hurt. Dust hurt a lot.
Dust hurt a lot in this game, probably more than they've hurt in any other game, or at least they make you feel like they hurt more than any other game. Because dust hurt a lot in Xrd too.
Yeah, it's scary. It develops like I think one of the cool things about the way Strive is developed into like almost like for most characters, if you're playing pretty optimized, it's a 2 touch or 3 touch game. Like that's what it becomes, I feel like.
Yeah,
And I think that the really interesting piece of the puzzle there that's kind of started to come up is how and when you use your burst. Like there's so many choices to make. Like with Zato, for me, like a lot of characters, the second they're on top of me, I want to burst them off because like if I let a Leo or a Geo like get in my face, like I'm done. Like that's it. I need them to
yep.
go away. I feel like Axel kind of plays similarly. That's something that Axels do to me a lot. Is like if I as Zato get into an Axel somehow, like by some miracle, they burst me back full screen and then I'm dead. Like
And
it's
then the
OS.
tears just run down your cheek. And
I
you're
can't do
like,
it twice. I don't have the mental fortitude to do that twice. So like it's
it's
over.
hard. It is really hard.
But
It's
you use your burst to get out of that pressure you don't want to deal with, and then what happens next is bad. So like, do you just hold the pressure? Like, you have to make these choices, and then like that's not even bringing into account the gold burst factor. Like, do I want my meter to just yellow RC out of stuff, or like put up a super? That's so interesting. I love the layers to this game.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like now that we've been more than a month in, like the game is like there is a meta developing. Like there really is. It's so this is my favorite part about fighting games is like when things develop and like strategies become more like mainstream or streamlined, it just like you'll really know when something is like really cheap or broken when like everyone's doing it. Like in Dragon Ball, when everyone started fuzzying, it's like this is a problem. Everyone is doing this. Like this is the meta. The meta is fuzzy. That stuff gets scary. But
You know, I'm calling this now.
mhm.
Early goldlewis Twitter clip. I'm not gonna call who will post it. I'm not sure, but someone early on is gonna post something about how you can use the various behemoth typhoons to mess with people's YRCs because they come out at different times. Like, imagine like you just like you
Oh,
condition
that's
them with
definitely
the
true.
fast behemoth typhoon, and then the next time they go to YRC it, but you did the slow wind up one, and then they're just standing there
And they
with a blue
get
RC.
BRC, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be
That
that.
character is
If
gonna
you
be
can really
interesting.
master all 8 versions, like that's gonna be powerful.
Yeah, I see a lot of people are like, "This is the character I want to put time into," or like a lot of people are saying, like, a lot of people have been playing the game. But they're like, I don't really have a character yet." Like I saw GC Yoshi, who is like historically a Bedman player from Xrd, was like, "Gold Lewis might be the one. I don't know yet, but like." People who like to put a lot of time into their character, hopefully they'll enjoy Gold Lewis. But I'm already scared. I think he's already looks very strong. Like we haven't even touched him yet, but I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I hope he's good. I hope he looks as good as every trailer explanation thing has shown.
Something I think I want to say it was Allian talking about this on Twitter with somebody, but someone was talking about how they think based on watching the trailer that he might have like inherently slower jump startup to compensate for all the inputs you have to do like starting at the top of the circle.
Right. Oh,
I
so you
thought
can
that was
cancel it? Yeah, that would make
yeah,
sense. I was thinking about that too. About everything that has to start from the top. Like, how is
yeah.
that gonna work? Or anything that
And
goes
like
over the top.
that could I think that could end up being a little bit of a weakness on his end. Like that's the weakness I see so far. If that's true, that like they slowed down his jump startup to like make that more doable. Like, not being able to jump fast, now you have an issue against someone like against a Zato or against a Leo where there might be a gap you want to jump out of really
Or
quick and like
May.
or May, yeah. If you can't jump out fast enough, like now you have something new to think about. So that's kind of an interesting aspect to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that I can't wait for the day one. I've never been a day one Twitter clipper, but as I know from Dragon Ball, it's like, people were posting like 75% Gold Lewis combo with 50% tension, like can't wait to see that on Twitter. Or
That'd be
like
fun.
all the memes that are gonna come back, it's like now show us the damage on anyone other than Chip.
I'll post the clip of me accidentally jumping every time I try to do anything and getting blown up for it because that's what's going to happen when I play this character. I'm just going to end up full screen Gatling gun, just chipping people to death. That's going to be my game plan.
I will. There will definitely be a clip of that somewhere. I feel like someone like Justin Wong would do that, just like full screen Gatling gun somebody.
The second you figure out how many Gatlings it takes to build a bar, and then you spend it on the orbital laser, and then keep Gatling them, and you just chip them. Chip them, chip them, chip them, chip them.
Yeah, I'm
Zados,
definitely.
Zados will be sad.
A lot of people will be sad who are sitting full screen. I don't want to fight a Gatling gun full screen. My character doesn't even have a run. This is ridiculous. This guy's got a machine gun. It's ridiculous.
He's gonna have. I can picture him having a bad matchup against like the multi jumpers, like Milia and Chip. Like I could see that being trouble.
I could also see May being a problem, just because of her like disjoints and like her like very unique jump, and how fast she can cover ground horizontally.
Yeah, but they're gonna have to call PETA because I'll be putting my Gatling gun into that dolphin all day, every day. So
That's really gonna be a problem. I also can't wait for the memes. There's definitely gonna be more memes. Although we've seen a lot already, Twitter really been
yeah,
hitting with the memes recently.
we're gonna
Like,
we're gonna evolve past Gold Dick, and then
yeah,
it'll start to really flesh out once we
yeah.
get that out of our
Once we get
system.
past the gold dick, gold balls, whatever you want to call them.
Oh man.
But speaking of memes, I want to talk about this game since this was announced in between the last episode and this one. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. Oh man, the memes first of all have been fire. Like SpongeBob doing a raging demon. That's right up my alley. Or like all the Hugh Neutron ones. The Hugh
Yeah.
Neutron memes have been crazy. Even the voice actor, I think he has like a cameo account. People are paying him to be like, "You just got TOD, Jimbo," or something like that.
He did a few for free. I heard the one where he's like, "I'm about to send you to the Shadow Realm. It's just around the block."
That's horrible, man. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. So
Who are you maining?
all right, depends on a few things, right? If we haven't seen every character, like I seen from the box art that Aang is in, so I'm playing Aang as of right now. But if somehow we get another Avatar character and it's Zuko, I'm playing Zuko. I'm a Zuko day one main at that point. Definitely would like him, but I'm definitely sticking to like Aang or I don't know. I feel like I would mess around with a little powdered toast man just because he gives me Captain Falcon vibes.
Toastman being in this game, I feel like is giving everyone a ton of hope for like more like kind of obscure characters.
Yeah,
You know?
people are like, "Yo, see my Tommy Pickles." I'm like, "Would they add him?"
But we have Reptar. Okay, so like my day ones, I'm jumping straight to Reptar and straight to Zim. Those are my first two based on what we've seen, no doubt. I have fingers crossed for Jorgen von Strangle. How can you not
Jorgen,
have him?
a Jorgen von Strangle would be sick, but I also was telling my friends, I was like, "Yo, if they put Ultra Lord in, that's actually Captain Falcon."
That's fire. And then I'm holding out for any rocket power character.
Yeah, the Tito memes are so good.
You picture
Like,
Tito and he just gets the longboard, like the 8-foot surfboard, and just swings it. He's like, "Aloha, little friends!" Like just knocks you out of the park. Like that's it. That sounds so fun. But I play Twister in a heartbeat. I love Twister.
dude, that there's so people were like on the surface, everyone's like, "That's so sick," and then people were like, "Yo, they have they have so many characters they can go from because Nickelodeon owns so many IPs." Like,
Yeah, we
and
haven't seen any angry beavers. Like picture Norbin Daggett as
ice
like an ice
climbers,
climbers.
ice climbers.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Oh man.
Plus, game has rollback.
Yeah, it's made by the developers of Slap City. I don't know if you ever played that game. It is a very hilarious game to play. That game is only like 5 or 6 characters in it, but it's very memey. It's a Smash Bros game, but like all of them have like very like weird things to them. Like there's this character, I believe his name is Fish Fungin or something like that, and he's just like a buff fish, and he'll like throw weights at you, and like it's a Smash style, so it's percent based, and like the weights do like 30%. Like he will kill you in like 3 hits, but he's like super slow and like really like doofy. But oh man, the characters in that game, they're very original. I can say that much. And the stage hazards in that game were wild too. So I'm really excited for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
That reminded me, I also want Larry the Lobster. I just want all the big fellows from
All the
Morgan,
big-
Larry. Like, come on, bring them.
That's your
Bring 'em.
DLC hopes.
Kinda, yeah. I think those would be fun. I like that, like like they have main characters, but like our Hey Arnold rep is Helga. It's not Arnold. Like that's sick that they're just like showing
Yeah.
out that way. Like Oblina from Our Real Monsters. Like I know she's one of the main trio, but like I would have pictured the little purple dude getting in first.
Yeah, I'm honestly like, I was like, wow, they have characters like old characters that like, I mean, I'm 24, but like I struggle to remember some of them. Like I had to be like, yo, who the fuck is Powdered Toast Man? Then I had to look it up, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember, right? But like all like the two like siblings, I think of like the new age characters, I'm like, that's right over my head. I don't know anybody. I
Oh,
don't
the
even,
Loud House.
Yeah,
Those guys, Lincoln Loud, Lucy Loud.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about what's on Nickelodeon right now. I know that SpongeBob is still airing, so I have hope for the like characters like that. But I don't know. There's a lot of characters I would want. I would love Mr. Krabs to be in the game too. I would just love to hear the walk cycle as he's like walking across the stage to edge guard you. Like,
Okay,
oh
I
man,
have one more I need. We have Nigel Thornberry. I need
Donnie,
Donnie.
Donnie.
I want the meme to come back. But that's what I'm doing for real. Like that's my
Yeah.
character. Like it's not a meme anymore. I'm straight up. I'm like gonna sit there at the local Nickelodeon and like while I'm playing, just sit there doing that the whole time. So my opponent just moves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like Donnie. He's gotta be in. But like, I really hope they add like DLC for this game and it gets supported because like they definitely got way more press than they were expecting. You know,
all the
like
Smash Ultimate Pros just abandon ship. Get some
I mean
support from the
that game's got
developer.
rollback and it's going on every platform. And I honestly would not be surprised if it eventually got crossplay.
That's
Wouldn't
wave
be.
dashing too, right? Is that the other thing they said it has?
They said it has wave dashing, and there was one other mechanic from Smash. I think they said it had. I don't think it's like L canceling, but because I remember Slap City having wave dashing, but not anything else.
I hope it feels like melee wave dashing, but it isn't as alienating as melee wave dashing. Like this is gonna be the trick is if they have a mechanic like wave dashing, they have to make it so it like it's useful and fun and like a cool thing to do at high level, but it like if a new person hops online, they don't just get like that cartoon video of Fox wave dashing around Link. Like we can't have that. Like
I
that's
love that
not gonna
video.
work. It's so funny. But like
Link's
also
like swings his sword, and Fox is like running around FD.
yeah, they either need to do that or they need like a tutorial that explains the mechanic so that someone can get it. Like because wave dashing inherently isn't like that hard. Like the input window is a little tight.
Depends
But,
on the
like you
character.
practice a little bit. Yeah, like you know, if you pick up Luigi in Melee and start practicing, you can figure it out. But like, no one
Fox is
teaches you
hard.
that. You have to know it. So like that's like the piece of the puzzle I think that's gonna like kind of make or break whether or not the wave dashing is like a good thing or a bad
I
thing for the game.
I definitely think it's gonna have at least some tutorials or like will be accessible enough that people will, talk about it because like, a lot of those like beginner guides for Melee are just like deep in like the 10-plus-year-old like trenches where the videos in like 144p and you have to like pray to read the text on screen. So I think it won't be as like not gate kept, but like hard to get into as like Smash Melee is because it's gonna be a new thing, and like everyone's gonna play it. At least every content creator, every influencer is gonna play it.
Can't
You
wait to
know,
do 8-man brawl with all my YouTube homies.
yo, let me get the invite to that.
You
Definitely,
know it.
I'm trying to sauce some people up with all four elements if possible.
Can't wait for Fairly Odd *tGrass roots.
Yeah,
And I'm in doubles with Rokushin, and we go to losers quarters with our double Nigel team. It'll be
ready to
fun.
be called. Oh, Nickelodeon Grass Stars.
There we go.
There we go. We're getting the title working already.
Can someone trademark that real quick?
Yeah,
Who's got
yeah. Can we get somebody somebody get the button going? Like, what's going on here?
production? Can you guys handle that?
Yeah, for real. We don't. I mean, hopefully we'll get a production guy one day, right?
You're the production guy. I was talking to you.
Yeah. We'll get that going. Already, and it's good. We got it going. It's in my notepad already. You have no idea.
Perfect.
But yeah, that was definitely a game that took me out of nowhere. And like I thought it was gonna be a joke at first, and I was like, oh whatever, it's gonna be on Switch. And then they were like all platforms, rollback, and it's made by the guys who made Slap City. And I was like sitting with my friends. We used to play a lot of Slap City, and I was like, yo, this game is gonna be really good. This game is going to be really good.
This is gonna be what I wanted Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion to be, but it never was.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't fuck it up because so many games have or so many companies have done this before, right? Like
yeah, but Nintendo always is like the gold standard. Like no one like the indies challenge Nintendo, but they don't have the power to like push higher.
But Nickelodeon has some money, like that's a lot of money.
It has the draw. It has the like generational characters, like
Yeah.
multi-generational. It's got the
Yeah,
keys to do it. It's got multiple platforms. It's got the what the fighting game community wants. So like if this game plays clean, I don't know, dude. It could be
could you imagine going to Evo? You're going to Las Vegas, Nevada. You're spending thousands of dollars to go to this event, and you are sitting in the Mandalay Bay drunk watching grand finals of Patrick Star versus Powdered Toast Man.
I was playing with a goldfish bowl on my head with Cosmo and Wanda in it.
Like
It's gonna be perfect.
it really doesn't feel real sometimes. Where like there are gonna be Twitter banners of people who are like, I play Mario and Smash and I play SpongeBob in this game.
You go
And
O2, you get slimed.
oh, that'd be lit. That would be sick. Actually, in events, we're gonna have like a summit for this game too. Beyond the summit, they'll definitely be sliming people for that kind of event.
There's also the opportunity here for like Nick to not be as uptight as Nintendo is about things and
Yep.
like allow some growth. Like if they're capable of like letting go a little bit, letting the community like take it how they want to take it, like there's so much space for this to do well, which is such a weird thing to sincerely say
Yeah.
about Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl, but like it's just there's potential. There's so
There
much
is
potential.
so much potential. I'm gonna give you my top 3 definitely DLC right now for Nickelodeon. I'm gonna go Zuko at 1. Gotta have Zuko. That's my man right there. Number 2, I would like Mr. Krabs because I feel like he would play very similar to a character that was already in Slap City who had like a money mechanic, which would like if he hits you, he gets money, and then the more money he has, the more damage he does. And like when you kills you, he cashes out and it drops down to 0 again. And then my third, I honestly, for the meme, I think I really do want Ultra Lord.
Would be sick.
Ultra Lord and give him like a Captain Falcon like color screen. Oh, you know what? I just thought about it. Crimson Chin would be sick too.
I was about to ask you if you'd rather have Ultra Lord or Crimson Chin.
I think I'd actually go Crimson Chin there. Crimson Chin would be
Maybe
pretty
they're like
sick.
a reskin deal, like a Falcon and Ganon and Melee kind of thing, where they're like
Yeah.
similar, like really similar, and like just different weights. Like Ultra Lord's the heavier one that hits
Yeah.
harder. Crimson Chin's a little more mobile.
That'd be great. What do you got for a top 3?
Gorgonmon Strangle,
Mm-hmm.
Donnie Thornberry, Twister from Rocket Power. I think that's my top 3.
That's your top 3.
And Twister, I want you to be able to like almost like not like Min Min, but like the same kind of mechanic where Min Min alternates her weapon on her arm, but you get to alternate your form of transport. So like you have like a skateboard, or you can switch to roller skates where you're a little more like sharp in your turns. But
Right.
the skateboard's a little more like fast, straightforward. Or you can switch to like just running, and like that's like different, like or like maybe like a mountain bike for like a power kind of stance. So Twister ends up being like a stance character, but it's his mobility that changes instead of his movesets. Like that could be kind of cool.
Man, I honestly the brain power that I feel like so many people in the community have towards like concepting ideas for characters just really blows my mind. Like we think of things that are just like so out there, right? Like so incredibly out there, but like everyone's like, yeah, that could make sense.
Yeah.
Like
It's fun, dude.
the Twister idea is really not bad. Like it reminds me of like Shulk from Smash.
Yeah.
Or like the different stances like speed, buster, power.
I just want this. I want that job where you just tell an artist like you're like, this is what my concept is. How can we do this? And you have like an artist and a dev with you, and they like, work with you to make it happen. Like, how do you get that job? That's great.
I would also like to sit in on those meetings. I would just like spitball out there. Like,
I do that with my friends with Valorant agents a lot, where like they'll be like, "Oh, I heard the next character's gonna do this," and like we'll sit down and I'll just be like, "Okay, like here's what like the element could be. I think they could do this. Like for this role, like that'd be sick." And he'll just be like, "How the hell did you come up with that, dude?" It's like, I don't know. Like I just play a ton of fighting games, which just ingrained all these weird ideas in my head because literally anything is allowed.
I definitely feel like, especially with like when you go back to like Guilty Gear, like that is like the game where they're just like, we're gonna make this character do absolutely stupid shit. They're like, this character's got a gun, but it shoots bubbles, but they're actually traps that can lay onto the screen, and like they have long-reaching normals. Like you can think of like the stupidest things, and like Daisuke would be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's run it up right now.
This guy's in bed.
that's That's his kid player model. He's a man
They said, okay, and then
sleeping.
they made that. Yeah, and then they made that a thing.
And they're like, what do we name him? Bed man.
Sit down. You're gonna want to be seated for this
You
one,
might need to hear this one again.
dude. Yeah, they're crazy. The things they come up with, like
I love it. I love it so much. I love when things are so anime that you're like, makes sense. That
Zappa.
that Zappa. Oh, like, honestly, you could put any character in Guilty Gear, but it goes down to like a lot of other games. Like even in BlazBlue, like Noelle is just like, I only fight with guns, and like everything is just like different guns. And I don't know how they made a character that like you look at him, you're like, she's a zoner, and it's like, no, she like can get in your face and like uses guns too. It's just so
Like
interesting.
I'm gonna mispronounce it, but Kokonoe, is that her name? Kokono. It's like,
I don't
oh,
know.
she's a cat girl, but she's a scientist, so she uses gadgets. Okay,
It's
sure.
it's so interesting, man. I absolutely love these character designs, but Twister from Rocket Power, you really got some ideas brewing there.
But like that applies to any of them too. Like you could do that with like Reggie or Otto too. But like, or if you like had Reggie, she could have something that has to do with like photography because she's got the zine. Like she could have like a stun move with the camera. Or like if you had Sam, he could like switch into his goalie gear and like tank some hits or
That's true.
something. Like there's some cool options.
Man, Rocket Power is like a show that like I watched a little bit of growing up, but like it's so interesting. I feel like anyone who's younger than me, like anyone who's like 18 right now is like, I don't know what that is.
Which is crazy. How do you not know the woogity? Like you
Like,
don't
yeah,
fucking
like woogity
know
woogity
that.
woogity. How do you not remember
Yeah.
that meme where he's like, I'm falling, Otto, grab my hand. He's like, woogity 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 woo, ah, and he falls down the mountain.
Which could be in this game. Maybe that's his like his
Edge
taunt.
guard.
Is he woogities you on the edge, kind of like
That
Luigi
would
has
be
the kick thing?
that would be so good.
Oh my
Oh
god, that'd be
man,
11 out of 10. I
I
would
just
main that character so fast. So
I
fast.
I
Light
just
speed.
think it's so interesting how many like different like age aged people like see the game so differently. Like I feel like I grew up a lot on like, you know, Fairly Odd Parents and like SpongeBob and a lot of those shows, but like, you know, not so much Rocket Power, but like you're only what? How old are you? How 28?
Yeah.
So you're 4 years older than me, but there's still like a difference in like things we remember with the shows and everything. Like
Yeah, the era I got into Nickelodeon was like Rugrats, Wild Thornberries,
I had like the
Rocket
tail end
Power,
of that.
kind of stuff. Yeah, and then like I have a little brother. I have two little brothers, but one's like 4 years younger than me. He's your age. So like he was, watching Fairly Odd Parents and stuff, and that show's hilarious. So I watched it with him and like
Yeah,
all
I
that
mean,
like
I
era
don't think
was
any of the
good.
shows are like better or worse, but it's just like interesting where like this game was like, we're gonna bring stuff from Ren and Stimpy all the way to, you know, I guess like the Loud House, that's what you called it.
Yeah, that's
Which I
my
guess
stepson
is
watches
more
that.
recent.
Yeah, my stepson watches it. It's on now.
Okay, yeah. So
Oh, you
like,
know what I didn't say that I do want? Maybe not top three is I want Jimmy Neutron with Goddard as a puppet. I think that would be a cool concept.
I just think Jimmy with like random gadgets that would switch out, like a shrink ray or something like that, and he would just like drop them like Robin from Smash.
He
Like
sends
after
out the pants as like a little like trap. Like, do you remember that?
the
That's like the first episode with the
pants,
pants that take him
yeah.
over.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Or maybe like I don't know. He could have like a lot of like gadgets you could pull out. Like right, he has like a shrink ray that's like very popular, or he could pull out like one of the Twonkies from the movie, and throw that at you.
Yep.
Attack of the Twonkies, or he get like a pull out a piece of the what is it, the blurple gum or whatever, the candy, and he get like a power up from it. See, now I got the QA ideas here going.
There we go.
He'll be like Robin from Smash, where like the tomes change and stuff like that.
This game is either
I,
going to be like the biggest flop of all time or it's going to revolutionize the FGC and there's no middle ground. It's
yeah,
one or the other.
it's really it's these types of games, man. It's actually insane. Like who expected this? Like, I knew like it leaked on like Walmart or something or GameFly. That's what it was. And then I was like, I probably won't hear from this for a while. Like, I hope it does well. And then the trailer came out like a week later, and everyone was like, "This is insane."
It is. You know what is a shame is that there are a lot of good players in the FGC who won't get to play this game because Nickelodeon's not going to allow anyone with tags like Lord Jerkoff of Cumland to play Nickelodeon All-Star
Yeah,
Brawl.
That is it's been and yeah, it's like the PPMD right now of guilty
It's so
here.
much worse. It's so much
It's
worse.
so much worse. But like, you know, like Dr. PP is still pretty bad. Like if you're like an esports team, but like that has definitely been my most recent loved thing on Twitter. Was like, you know, I wake up in the morning, I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see a top 8 and they're like, here's my favorite Potemkin player, Lord Jerkoff of Cumland. And like,
It sucks because he's locked into that tag now.
oh yeah,
like he's gonna lose his power.
But have you seen the Twitch chats when he plays? Everyone's like jerk off in the chat rooms, like
Crazy.
That is so weird. Like we talked about Joe Biden last week or last episode, where it was just like, you know, President Joe Biden, like that's whatever. But this guy's just like Lord Jerk Off of Cumland.
I can't tell if he's 15 or 40 because it's one of those.
Dice roll. That is a dice roll if I've ever seen one. Yeah, he's really good too. That's the funny part. He's a really good player.
Yeah, everyone knows who he is now. Who they are, I guess. Maybe we shouldn't assume, but like,
yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like, you can't get approached with that tag. Like, Panda Global's not picking you up. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like,
Panda Jerk Off. Like, I don't even know how you would, like... There's no way you can change that tag to be, like, anything. I guess you could be, like... You could just change his name to, like, JOM, which would just be Jerk Off, or JOC, Jerk Off Cumland.
You should just do it a bit longer and be like, long story short, my new tag is Carl. And just be Carl. Like, you know, just, like, completely pivot.
People,
and, like,
people do that after a while.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone hits that. I feel like everyone hits that age in like the scene or like in content creation where like it's just like I don't really like. And personally, me, I'm like, if people call me T-Grass, I'm like whatever because it's like a shorter version of my name. But like if your name is like I don't know, like Mario Bros 513, and like people calling you that in the venue, like if you're like in your 20s, you're like, dude, just call me like you know whatever my name is, like. Don't do that. That's why I try and do that as much as I can as possible. But like, I feel like I have one of those names where it's just like very short. People call me T, they call me Tom, or they call me Grass, and I'm like, I'm okay with any of those. But like, you know, you're never gonna be like Lord Jerkoff of Cumland. I'm sorry, but like, you're gonna get called that in the venue for forever now. As soon as people get a name to the face or face to the name, that's over for you, man. I feel bad.
Yeah, is he going to CEO? Because I want to know.
That is a good question. That's
like my pool demon.
So wait, this is CEO is gonna be your first time going to a major, right? For FGC at least.
No, I go to them for fun.
First time since having a bit of a following.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I've talked about this with my girlfriend, and I think I wanted to hear how you think about this. Like, there could potentially be people walking up to you and being like, oh my god, dude, you're KRC Pinto. Yo, what's up, man? And you're gonna be like, hey, who are you?
I think I'll handle that okay. I'll think it's really... the first time that happens, I'm gonna be like, I don't deserve it. And then after that, it's gonna go straight to my head.
So you go,
like, I'm a YouTube god! Like, you know, like something like that. With my,
there's a comma in my subscribe account.
Yeah, exactly. But like it'll be odd. But I feel like the people who would do that anyway, I like make friends with a lot of the people who consistently watch my stuff. Like I can tell you most of the people who I like know for a fact watch all my streams. Like it's like 7 or 8 people, so I always talk to them while like we have a relationship. They're in my Discord. Like I feel like those people will come say hi to me. I don't know if I'll have like a random person do it, especially since I don't win. So I feel like no one's gonna be like, hey, will you please play me? Like like I've seen your cool plays on you. That's not gonna happen. Like at best they'll be like,
I don't know about that.
At best they'll be like, secret sauce is neat, and walk away, and that'll be that. And like I'll be fine with that. Like that's cool. But also I don't expect that to happen at all. We'll see.
Yeah, if it happens, I would like to make note of it. When is CEO? It's December, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna make note of that till December. But I'm gonna if you're watching this episode and you're going to CEO, I didn't tell you to walk up to KRC Pinto and become a fanboy / fangirl over him.
I might try to like intentionally recreate the Avengers Endgame diner scene. I'll like stand next to Lord Knight or something. Be like, "Yo, Lord Knight, can I get a picture?"
You want a picture of
I'm
Nate?
Ant-Man. I'm Ant-Man. You want a picture? Like,
Yeah,
they don't know Ant-Man. They don't know him. Get his picture. He's sad. He's like, just shut the fuck up. Move on.
I love that. I love that scene actually. I'll see you kids. Damn. I just love that. Oh man. That is gonna be a great moment. I had like a mini moment of that. Where like a good amount of people who watch my stream are from New York, and I was like one time streaming, and one of my friends was like, "Yo, we're hosting a session at this card store. You should come through on Thursday." So I like streamed in like the morning, and I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll do that." And I was like, "Yo, if anybody's like New York and you guys want to like roll through, like I'll be there and we can play some Dragon Ball." And people were like, "Yo, T, what's up?" and dap me up, and I'm like, "What's good?" And I was like, "I don't think I know that person." They're like, "It's so and so from stream." I'm like, "Oh shit!" But like the people who did that are now like good friends with me. Like my boy Fashion. I'm so sad that you moved away. But like even VJack or Kevon, those are the guys who used to like come out to locals with me, and like I'll still see some of them sometimes. And it was just weird because it was that interaction. They're like, "Yo, it's really nice to meet you," and I'm like, "I have no idea who you are. Why do you know who I am?"
Yeah, so I have a weird situation going on too, where like I was like dialed into the Austin Dragon Ball scene pretty well when I was living there, and that's where I started. So like a lot of support from those guys, and they're all the best. Like shouts to the homies. But mid-pandemic, I moved to Florida, so I'm not dialed into the scene here at all because I wasn't going to locals here or anything. Like I'm from here originally, but I haven't lived here in like 5 years, and I didn't play fighting games, so I don't know anyone in Central Florida at all. Like the best thing I've done is I accidentally played Jabali on stream like one day,
Nice.
but like that was it. That's like the most Florida thing I've had, and that was just in Towers. Like he didn't know who I was or anything, but like
Right.
so yeah, I don't have any like local recognition, so I expect
Some
nothing.
connects until you gotta go to some. I guess you gotta go to some locals when you can.
Dude, I don't. The beach town I'm in is not that
Close.
kind of town. So like, there's like stuff in Daytona, but it's like 30 minutes away, or like there's a college like 40 minutes away that probably has some stuff. So like I'd have to dig around. I know there's a land center that does a Strive tournament on Fridays. That's like 40 minutes from me. So like I just haven't
Yeah,
committed to that.
my local is like 50 minutes for me. But like, to see the homies and meet people and just hang out, it's not, it's nice. I've always done this since whenever I'm not TOing, I make sure to be friends with the TO because I just don't want their life to be a living hell, and I'll always be like, "Yeah, let me volunteer and let me help. Like I know what I'm doing. Like let me help out." But like going to locals after you become friends with the TO, it's just like my favorite thing to do is to sit behind the desk and not actually TO, but I'm friends with the TOs, so I don't have to sit in like the cesspool with everyone else.
The peasant section.
It's not even that. Like if I want to play, like I'll get up and play, but like when there's like 20 people around one setup and everyone's like sweating, I'm like, God, I can't be here right now. I can't rock with this.
Yeah, 100%. Okay,
Oh man,
I've been looking forward to this segment the whole episode. We talked about this last week a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time that we go to the FGC glossary and do a little quizzing.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pull this up on the side here because I honestly messed up and don't have my words anymore. I don't know what happened to them, but it's okay. I knew a few that I wanted to hit you with.
Okay.
But
I hope I can get one. I don't want to go 0-2 on the FGC glossary. We gotta go 1-2 at least. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty great. Like you could just click any like letter in the alphabet. Shout out to Infill, of course, for making this. Like wow, there's just like so many weird ones.
Definitely put the glossary link right here, right now.
Yeah,
in the post production right here.
Yeah, we'll definitely have that on screen. You guys should check it out if you ever wondered what, like, this is a word I always heard a lot from Dragon Ball that a lot of people would ask me all the time in stream, like things like fuzzy. If you don't know what it is, it means a bunch of different things in different games actually. So if you ever wondered about that, you can check out any of those terms right on the glossary. So shout out to Infill. But all right, let's go to one I know I have, but then I'm just gonna click through and hit you with a different one after. Sir, can you define? Do you want me to give you the term and you define it, or the definition and you give me the term?
Give me the term. I think that's what I want. Yeah.
Can you define a Mexican uppercut for me?
Nope. No idea. What is that?
Now, a Mexican uppercut is an old school slang for a normal that looks like Ryu's crouching heavy punch, a giant upward swing of the fist, kind of like an actual uppercut, but it is not used as a DP. I have no idea why it's called a Mexican uppercut, but that's why it's called that.
Hope it's a good reason and not
a bad one.
Bad reason.
Yeah. Let's see. This has come up recently for all the Guilty Gear players. Do you know what a Cali burst is?
Cali burst, like Cali, like California.
Like Cali burst, yeah, like California.
I don't know what it is, but let me guess. I bet is when you run up in someone's face and try to gold burst them off rip.
Basically the short version of it is, you know, when you have 1 HP left and the announcer's like, burst max, and you're like, I'm gonna die unless I burst right here, and your opponent's like, this idiot's gonna burst right now, and then you burst and it gets baited and you still die. Yep. That is pretty much a Cali burst.
Okay.
I'm very good at that. You know, I'm so good at like playing the game, and I'm like, I'm not gonna burst here, and then I'm like, I get hit by something that just like pisses me off, and I'm like, I'm bursting this, and I look at my health, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. I just threw the game.
Yep. I make people do that with Zato's command grab in the corner a lot. If I can RC it, people always burst that, and then you can just like beat him up afterwards.
Yeah, I could. That's funny. Oh, okay. This is a good one. You probably know this one because I'm pretty sure you played Smash. You know what a tomahawk is?
Tomahawk.
It's mostly used for the word tomahawk grab.
No, what's that?
So it's for Smash. This is a thing I've actually like talked about a lot with people recently. Tomahawk is a phrase that they just use for empty jump.
Oh.
So if someone says tomahawk grab, they just run up to you and empty jump throw you.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I
went 02 with the glossary. This is pain. 03, really.
03, really, but you know, we can run it back next episode. You can quiz me next episode.
I'm not gonna study either. It has to be honest. Like I can't.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, who's gonna be sitting in the glossary like, I'm gonna go to the Marvel versus Capcom section today?
30 minutes a night. I'm just like glasses on with a cup of tea in my leather chair with like a nook. And my fiance's like, "What are you doing, sweetie?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm studying. I have to learn these terms. It's crucial for my line of work that I learn these terms." Like I'm reading a medical journal or something.
I think that's so ridiculous, but it also kind of just makes sense at the same time because there are just some serious, like, some weird terms out in the fighting game scene. I definitely think Smash is the one, because I come originally from Smash. I think Smash is the one with the original like weird terms, like when they're like, oh, he's hitting him with like, oh, that's a mangle, or like, oh, that's you know, they name combos, which I honestly think we should bring to the FGC, but it's stupid. Like, if like a fox hits you with the up throw up air and like kills you off the top, they're like, oh, Stairway to Heaven. I'm like, what? What is that?
The Ken combo, the Wombo combo.
Yeah, they got everything. A wobble, like there's some. Killer. There's just so many. There's so many stupid things like Swanton Bomb in Smash. Like, why is that a thing? Like, I get Jeff Hardy's cool, but like,
they just do stuff.
Yeah, it's like
they'll use different words for things too.
Yeah,
like
I think the thing I talked about this with a friend yesterday is that people use the word option select wrong in Smash. Where so like option select for the most part in you know, traditional fighting games is like you're putting in an input, and if something reacts one way, it'll come out, or if it doesn't react, then it won't come out, but you're putting in the same input for both situations. Whereas there's not really OSs in Smash games because there's not really a lot of inputs like that, but like people will, you know, throw somebody in Smash and then they'll jab even if it whiffs, or they'll dash attack after. They always jab to, you know, cover the in-place option, right? And people are like, oh, good option select, when it's like option coverage. But like there are so many like weird like crossover terms that they use that aren't like the same way that we use them. Like you can't like, there's no like technically even like blocking or fuzzy or anything like that in Smash. Like there is technically none of that stuff. Like throws are different too because they're not techable. Like technically in Smash, every throw is a command throw. You can't tech it. There's no taking throws in Smash.
There's some interesting stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just such a weird thing
Because
because
it's
it's
so
old
on
yet so
accident.
far.
Yeah, it's like the game is like so much on accident, but like not because it's been driven by so much like meta development over the years. But like, the game didn't come out because like they didn't have like wave dashing in the tutorials and stuff like that. Although technically, nobody apparently in one of the guides, I think it was the Japanese guide to Smash 64, they have L canceling / Z canceling in the guide, and they call it smooth landing. If you never knew that,
Ooh, I like that. We need to change that term.
you're like, oh,
Smooth
nice. He
landing.
does the short hop nair, smooth land.
And Zane with the smooth landing.
Smooth landing. It definitely sounds fresh. There was some Nintendo exec that was like, I got this for the few people that figure this out.
Which, okay, this is on my mind now. I know we're not a Melee podcast, but yo, Summit though.
Summer was crazy. We're
The
not
Mango.
Melee's FGC. We'll talk about
That's
Melee.
fair.
So
Mango.
I watched that losers run on Sunday. That was crazy.
I only watched
Literally,
the grand finals because I couldn't watch it over the weekend. But dude, I think it was game 4. I want to say no. Damn, what game was it? I think it was in the second set after Mango reset once. There was a point where they're playing. I think it was on FD when he beat him twice on FD, which is incredible. And he, oh, maybe that was the end of set 1.
that was
I
the
don't
end of
remember.
set 1. He was down 2-0 and then won a game and then had to win twice on FD. So he reversed 3-0'd him.
Full hop, double jumped in Zane Marth's face on FD and mixed him with a full hop double jump. And I was like, Mango's a psychopath. This is insane.
That game, yeah. I mean, honest, for those who don't know, like in Smash Melee, like Fox is considered the best, and Marth is considered probably the second best at this point. But like, those games those two characters are characters that they hit you, and you're never supposed to play again for that stock. Like you really just get like tossed around the entire stage. But Mango had the most insane run ever in that grand finals. It was 2-1, and I knew he had to play both games on FD, and I was like, I can't believe he lost. I'm in my head. I'm like, I threw in the towel already. I'm like, there's no way he's winning 2 games on FD. And then the first game starts, and he gives Zane in like 30 seconds, and I was like, what? I shot up.
Sleep on the kid.
You really can't sleep on the kid.
Can't sleep on the kid. Can't do it.
It's really crazy.
Like, what a backwards thing, because Zane was dominating on Stadium, and then Mango dominated on FD. Like I think, like it just seems like it should be the other way around.
I actually think Marth does really well on Stadium from when I used to play. I always thought Marth like like Fox does okay on Stadium, but now we all play Frozen Stadium, which is just so like such a different game. I think Fox with transformations does better on Stadium, but Frozen, like I'd almost say it's Marth's favor.
That's true. I mean, I guess his up tilt does completely cover platforms.
Right, and there's no top platform for like Spaceys to even camp really either. So like you grab somebody and like you can almost always cover everything.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy.
Summit was wild. If you guys get the chance, anyone who's watching, you guys gotta go back and be on the Summit, Smash Summit 11 Grand Finals. It's like a 40-minute set with 10 games. It was so good.
Super good. Super duper good.
I've been really recently been taken back into Melee, and I was like, maybe I should play. And then every time I look over at my controller, I'm like, I'm gonna get destroyed if I go online.
You let me know. You can beat me up for 30 minutes one of these days.
Bet. We'll run it. We'll run the O2ers set. We'll see who can go. Speaking of O2ers, you were in the tournament yesterday. You won a set.
Can't tell people that.
Are we gonna we're gonna ruin the branding? What the fuck, man?
I did. I won my first game against a chip, and I was like, all right, I'm feeling good. I've been putting in work. Maybe I'm better now. And then I had to play Romantic Style, who ended up getting 5th and has a level. I have so obviously the level doesn't mean you're good or you're bad.
It means more like time.
It shows how much you've played. I have a level 87 Zato, and Romantic Style has a level 711 Giovanna, and is like VIP Celestial, which I'm not. I'm on floor 9. So I loaded in, like, oh, I'm feeling good. And I saw the screen, like the cards when it's loading, and I went, okay. I think I took round 1 against Romantic Style, and then I lost every single round after that, besides maybe one. But I was like pretty happy with how I played. He was really good. Gio's scary. She knocks Zato down, it's over. So I lose that one. I'm like, that guy's good. He's gonna do well. Like, I'm gonna put it out of my mind. Go to losers bracket. Look at my losers. I'm up against I think his name was Julio something or Julio. I don't know where he's from, but we're friends now. I added him on Discord and Twitter afterwards. I like him. So he had run like 3 matches through losers up to like where I dropped into losers.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, like this guy's probably like, maybe playing a soul or something. Nope, it's a Zato mirror. I'm like, oh, okay, but he's in losers, so maybe like I go look at who he had to fight first that knocked him into losers, and it was Rox, who's the Axel player that got third. And I was like, okay, so that doesn't tell me anything about how good this guy is. So we go in, dude, devastated me in the Zato mirror. Devastated me.
That's definitely a weird matchup too.
He was good. It's so hard. You know what? It comes down a lot of times to a game of chicken. Like if both Zatos oppose from afar, it's whoever drunkard shades Eddie across the screen first loses because the other person can drunkard shade, counter your Eddie, and then that Eddie's in the other person's face, which is a confusing thing to say out loud, but hopefully you followed. Like if we're both here and he sends, I send, his dies and mine goes over. Yeah. So, we ended up in those chicken situations a few times. He anti-aired me a ton, which I should have stopped jumping, but I love JH as an approach tool, so I didn't. Also, he uses Invite Hell a lot more, but it was a great set. I had a good time. If you haven't entered guil-tGrass, do it. It's fun. It's a great tournament.
Yeah, we're free. They're on Thursdays. It's a good time. We show out this cash money you can win, and it's free to do it. So it's pretty cool. Honestly, yesterday's tournament, it was like all Zatos. I saw so many Zatos. Like even like I was really rooting for Super. Super's Zato was hitting some crazy combos. Like unfortunately, had to go against Soul and losers with Mike, who ended up winning the tournament. But
and Axel winners.
Yeah, Axel, very hard matchup. Soul, hard matchup, probably more doable than Axel, to be honest, but still really difficult. But Super, yeah, he was hitting some crazy stuff with the Zato. Like those frog loops over and over again. They were nasty. That character is so fun to watch when he gets going, but you watch him get hit on defense and you're like, man, this poor little boy, what's he gonna do about it?
No invincible super, no reversal, no fast buttons. Like I've said this 1,000 on Twitter. The worst thing in the world is when you're fighting a soul and you have to know that his fastest button is half the speed of your fastest button. 3 frame versus
you have a 6 frame?
6 frame 2P is the fastest button Zato has.
That's rough. I'm pretty sure. Bad. I think my fastest button on Leo is 5 frame 5P. Which, was 1 frame, but still. Yeah, we can't.
I was surprised Super used 2S a lot when he was fighting Axel. I was kind of surprised by that. Like, he was getting away with it a ton and, like, maybe just timing it well, like, knowing the matchup a little better than I do. But, like, I get anxious using that move kind of raw the way he was. Yeah, it gets slapped, especially against an Axel who can, like, jump back and just throw the scythe down and catch you. And, like, that's not fun. So I thought it was interesting that like he must have just known something that I don't, like the way he was using it, because it was working in his favor so much. I was impressed.
Yeah. It's funny. I feel like I learn a lot about this game when I play other characters. Like I was definitely a big Axel hater for a while, and then I went and played as Axel for like a week, and I was like, wow, a lot of this shit is really minus if he's like within these certain ranges. Like it's weird, but like I've been learning a lot about the game just by playing the other characters. Like I played Kai for a little bit, and for a while I thought Kai was really strong, and then I played Kai and I'm like, wow, like there really aren't a lot of things that mix you up with, but like his grab game is really strong. But like when he hits you, you can really explode.
Yeah.
It's been just such an interesting thing. I've definitely been trying to take time to learn the other characters, just like on a baseline, just so I can understand them more when I'm playing against them. And like, what buttons are which, and for some frame data, but that has definitely been my biggest learning tool so far. But I don't really know if you can apply those rules to like a matchup that's that rough, like Axel Zato. Like, I guess you can learn some things, but like it is inherently bad in your favor, I mean, against you.
Yeah, it's really, really bad. You have to have a bar of meter to close the gap, and then if he has burst, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel that way in some matchups with Leo, where I'm like, you work so hard, you get in, and then like they just burst you full screen, and you're like, I have to do that again. And that was half the round of me just trying to get in, close the gap, like finding a spot where, they can't, where I can get in from.
I will say though, like you're lucky in that when you do get in, you can put so much damage on.
Yeah,
And like, Zato, at least at my level, the only way I'm getting high damage with Zato is if I can set up frog loops, which I cannot set up unless Eddie's already out. So like if I'm
yeah.
closing the gap for a hit, like I can't get into frog loops from that. Like I have to like take the small combo with the knockdown that I can, and then hope I can mix up on the next thing and open them up, or
Yeah,
like with a
that's
post.
definitely an issue he has. Like, literally even getting things like 2S invite hell, and then like after that you're like, all right, next time I hit him, like if I get like a starter off of like a counter hit from a pose, like then they get hit. But Zato he can't skip layers. You know what I mean? Like he has to do layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and then he gets his hit. Where like Leo can go like straight to layer 3 if I catch you off guard.
Yeah,
And then I just grab my little ninja blender and I just hit start, and then there's your life bar just draining through the blender.
yeah. So it's tough out here, but
It definitely is.
Zato might catch some buffs, and Gold
Who
Lewis is here to save us all. So
who knows we're gonna get a patch. If we don't get one for Gold Lewis, I definitely think with the second character we're getting a patch.
I would say even before that, maybe just like after Evo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think the game like absolutely needs a patch. I mean, there's definitely things that need to get fixed, but like the game isn't
Right.
the game isn't unenjoyable right now, right? Like, yeah, I think Sol needs nerfs. Yeah, maybe Leo needs a little bit of nerfs. Maybe Ram needs a little bit of nerfs. But like, I don't think the game is in a point where it's just like this is hard to play.
Yeah, I agree. It's fun.
It is fun, and there's still so much to learn. And like we like I think it's good by them to not patch anything yet, because like we have barely learned anything before they may take something out or give us something else. Like there's probably something undiscovered already that's in the game that like like the devs know about that we haven't just figured out yet.
We'll find out. And you know what? We'll cover it on the next episode of O2ers.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is episode 2. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, if you made it this far, first of all, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you check out Pinto stuff. Subscribe to Pinto. All his stuff will be in the description. And if you have any questions for us, any topics you want us to cover, just leave them in the comments, shoot us on Twitter, whatever's best for you to do, and we can talk about it in the next episode. But for now, I think we are heading out for today. Thank you guys so much for watching the O2ers. I have been T-Grass. This has been KRC Pinto.
Appreciate y'all.
We'll see you in the next one.
See you next time.